Welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these delicious lemon and blueberry muffins. They're really soft and fluffy on the inside. They've got a great lemon and blueberry flavour. The first thing that you need to do is to turn on your oven. I've got a fan oven, so I've got that on at 180 degrees centigrade, and prepare your muffin trays just by putting liners into the tray. The first thing I'm going to need to do is to weigh out my dry ingredients. So for this recipe, I'm using 125 grams of caster sugar. To that, I'm going to be adding my flour. So I'm going to be using 200 grams of plain flour. And muffins are such a simple recipe to make. I'm making a recipe with sourdough discard today. If you don't have that, then increase the amount of flour by 50 grams. And you may need to add some more milk than I'm using in this recipe as well. And I'm going to use 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1.5. I'm also going to be adding just 1/2 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. Okay. So that's all of my dry ingredients weighed out. I'm just going to give that a little gentle mix, just to combine the sugar with the flour, the baking powder and the bicarbonate of soda. Next, we want to weigh out our wet ingredients. So for this, I'm going to use 100 grams of sourdough discard. To that, I'm going to add my melted butter. So I've got 100 grams of melted butter. Next, I'm going to add 2 large eggs. Now, because these are lemon muffins, I'm not adding any vanilla extract. If you just want plain blueberry muffins, then add sort of 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to add the zest of a lemon. I'm also going to add a squeeze of lemon juice. And finally, I'm just going to be adding a splash of milk. I'm not measuring. I suppose that's a couple of teaspoons. If you need more milk later, you can add that in. So I'm just going to bring together roughly my wet ingredients. So I've got my melted butter, my eggs, my sourdough discard, lemon juice, and a splash of milk. Next, all you need to do is to add your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients and mix them together. Now, with muffins, you want to keep your mixing quite light. You don't want to over mix. That's true with a lot of baking, but it's especially important for muffins. If you over mix muffins, you simply won't get that light, airy texture. So just quickly and roughly mix until that's almost combined. That's just about fine for this point, because I'm now going to add in my blueberries, and you can see I'm adding those in when this still isn't fully combined. That's to make sure that I'm not over mixing. I've got about 125 grams of blueberries here. If you want your muffins to have more blueberry, then you can easily double that quantity. And this mix will make about 12 muffins. You literally just want to mix until that's combined. At this stage, if you think you need a splash more milk, you can add that as well. That's it. That's all I'm going to do for mixing. So finally, what you want to do is to fill up your muffin cases. I'm using these tulip muffin cases, which I really like. They give you a bit more of a bakery style feel as well to your muffins. I'm starting with around a heaped tablespoon of mix in each muffin case. Last one. There we go. So I've got a tiny bit of batter left. I'm just going to distribute that evenly amongst my cases. I'm going to pop these into the oven now. So while my muffins are baking, I'm just going to make a simple lemon drizzle to put on the top. So for that, I've just got some icing sugar. I'm not going to sieve it. I'm not measuring it. I'm going to add some lemon juice to that, and the lemon juice, you know, will sort of dissolve in the sugar. And just stir that round. If you put lemon drizzle on when the muffins are still warm, still hot, they will soak into the sponge and you'll get sort of more of a sticky, syrupy type topping. If you just want to ice these, then wait until the muffins are cold and you can put that on then, and then it will be more like a sort of little drizzle icing. So that's a good consistency. You can see it's not too thin, it's kind of runny. I've got all of the lumps out. So I've just taken my muffins out of the oven. You can see that they've got a nice golden brown colour on them. You'll know that they're cooked when they spring back lightly to the touch. And when you pop in a skewer, that comes out clean. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some drizzle on half of these now, and I'll do half when they're cool, just to sort of show you the difference. So that's going to melt in and have a lovely sort of sugary coating. As I said, my batter itself is kind of less sweet than you'll find with some other muffins, so I find adding a bit of drizzle doesn't make them too sweet. So I'm just going to pop those onto a cooling rack now. My muffins have been cooling for about 20 minutes now, so I'm just going to put the rest of this icing on the remaining ones. For these, I'm just going to do a little drizzle like this, just using a spoon, nothing fancy. So there you go, that's my lemon and blueberry sourdough discard muffins. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. So I'm just going to show you the inside of one of these muffins and see what those are like. So you can see they're lovely and soft and fluffy. Just really beautiful, soft texture. They're really good. That lemon really comes through. Soft, moist, not too sweet. Everything you want from a muffin, really. Thanks so much for watching.